Today I'm going to be talking about these characters. Who are they? Let's find out in a second. Hey everybody, Bloodmoon Bobby here. So usually on this channel I talk about really gritty adventurous shows like Infinity Train and The Owl House, but for today I really wanted to give myself a break from all that craziness. I'm gonna be watching the next Owl House video, but for today I wanted to talk about something that's a bit more peaceful, and I'm gonna be talking about these characters. These are the Olympic, and I'm also going to have Paralympic mascots in this video, especially since the Tokyo 2020 games are going on in Japan. I wanted to use this as an opportunity to talk about my Olympic mascot collection. So I'm going to be going in a rough historical order of the mascots that I have, but I'm going to save my favorite for last. I currently don't have the two Tokyo mascots, Mirai Toa, and I think you pronounce its name Someiti. I'm gonna save that for after the Tokyo games when hopefully the price comes down, and if I can get those two mascots, I'll be sure to do an unboxing when I get those mascots. But without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at my current Olympic and Paralympic mascot collection. Let's start off with the oldest mascot that I've got. This is Misha from the Moscow 1980 Olympics, back when Russia was part of the Soviet Union, which is kind of a controversial Olympics for me to talk about because that was the one Olympics that the US boycotted. The bear is often a recurring mascot in Russia. As you could see, Misha is a bear. For the Sochi Olympics, they also had a bear mascot that was a polar bear at the time. And the funny thing about Misha is that my sis thinks that Misha looks kind of creepy, especially with the eyes. I personally think that he looks okay. I like that he's got this belt here with the Olympic logo. Funny enough, I actually recently learned that Misha's full name is, oh boy, I hope I can pronounce this correctly. I'm sorry. I don't know Russian. The International Olympic Committee, or IOC, says that Misha's name is Mikhail Potapyk. Again, I'll have the name in the video here. So wow. So Misha has a full name. An interesting thing about how they used Misha at the Moscow games is that at the closing ceremony, they lifted this balloon, this like giant balloon version of Misha, off into the air, and he was tied to a bunch of other balloons. So I thought that was kind of a interesting way to send him off. Okay, so the next mascot that I've got here, as you can guess, is an American mascot. This is Sam from the Los Angeles 1984 Olympics, which is the Olympics that my dad went to. He said that he watched some track events there. And speaking of which, he gave me this cap. This is a cap from the LA 1984 Olympics. And Sam, admittedly, he is kind of a stereotypical mascot in that, of course, American mascot. They went with an eagle. I remember showing Sam to a cousin of mine, and she was like, why did they pick is such a stereotypical character with the eagle? And yeah, I could see that. I mean, I would imagine they would have picked like a mascot that maybe would have been more specific to LA. But as is, I do really like Sam as a mascot. I think he has a great design. I like how with this mascot, they put the Olympic logo on his hat. I noticed that especially in more recent Olympics, they put like the logo on the bellies, but I tend to prefer when they put the Olympic logo on as like an article of clothing, whether it's a hat or a scarf or a skate, as we're about to see with the other mascots in my collection. It kind of makes the mascots a bit more tangible. But yeah, overall, I do really like Sam's design, and this cap is really awesome. Okay, so I've got my second American mascot here. This is Powder from the Salt Lake City 2002 Olympics. This is actually one of the first Olympics I remember seeing on TV as a kid. I have very, faint memories of the Salt Lake Games because I was really young when it happened. But, yeah, but it is one of the Olympics I have the earliest memories of. And as you can see, Powder is a hare. Powder is actually part of a trio of Olympic mascots that they had in Salt Lake City. There was also Copper the Coyote and Cole the Bear, and the three of them together are supposed to represent the Olympic motto, which is, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Citius, Altius, and Fortius, which is Latin for faster, higher, and stronger. And powder is supposed to represent the term for faster, because the hair is supposedly really fast. I do really like powder's design. In this case, instead of putting like the Olympic logo on like a hat with Sam, they actually put, I don't know if you could see it really well, they put the Salt Lake logo on powder's skates. So I thought that was a really neat addition. They also actually put the all the different mascots for the Salt Lake games here. I don't know if you could see it really well, but I also see Copper and Cole here. Okay, so for the next one, I've actually got 5 mascots to show here. This is, we got here Bebe, Jing Jing, Huan Huan, Ying Ying, and let us not forget Nini. All of these 5 mascots are from the 2008 Beijing Olympics. And so, as you could probably guess from their color schemes, each of them represents the different color ring from the Olympics, blue, black, red, yellow, and green. So I thought it was kind of an interesting symbolism that they got there. If you actually take the first part of each of their names and put them together, you actually get the sentence for "Welcome to Beijing" in Chinese. So I also thought that was also really interesting symbolism. And another interesting thing I learned recently about these mascots is that each of them carry a wish, because in Chinese culture, wishes are often sent through symbols and signs. Okay, so moving on to South Korea, I've got here Suhorong, who was the Olympic mascot of the Pyeongchang 2018 Olympic Games, and we got here Bondabi, who was the mascot for the Paralympic Games of that year. So we'll start off with Suhorong. As you could guess, Suhorong is a white tiger. I know that the tiger is a really famous animal in South Korea. During the 1988 Seoul Summer Olympics, they also had a tiger named Hodori. Suhorong here, his name comes from, it's based on 2 Korean words. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing them. Suho, means protection, and the term "rong" comes from the Korean word for tiger, and the IOC says that Suhorong has a challenging spirit and passion and is a great friend who protects the athletes, spectators, and the participants of the Olympics. As for Bondabi here, his name comes from the words Bondol for a half moon and B for celebrating the games. The International Paralympic Committee, or IPC, said that Bondabi is a bear because they're seen as a symbol of strong will and courage. And they also said that the Asiatic black bear is a symbol animal of the Gangwon province, which I believe is one of the provinces where the Pyeongchang Olympics took place. Okay, so I have saved the best for last. We're going to Canada for the last round of mascots here. And here I have got Miga and Kwachi. These are the 2 Olympic mascots for the Vancouver 2010 games. I've also got here Sumi, who was the mascot for the Paralympic Games of that year, and I've also got Muk Muk, who is the sidekick of all these mascots. And the reason I say that they're my favorite mascots of all time is because I really like the design and I really like the inspiration behind them, and I think they also appeal to a wide range of not only Olympic athletes but also even fans. So, like, for instance, I really like Miga's design. What I found really interesting about Miga is that she's not only supposed to be a bear, she can also turn into a orca or killer whale, and that was inspired by Canadian First Nations lore about the story of these bears that can turn into killer whales. I also like how Kwachi here is a hockey fan, is also a Sasquatch. Sumi, there's actually a cartoon that features all of these Vancouver mascots, and Sumi has this ability to turn into a gigantic size and can also fly. And Muk Muk here, what I really like about the symbolism with Muk Muk is that he's actually supposed to represent the fans. And I found that to be really interesting because quite often with the Olympic Games, I think we all think of like people like the athletes and the participants that take part in the Olympics. But something that I think goes overlooked, and myself included, I often forget myself, is that the fans are also a great part of the Olympics. Not only because as they're the ones who are cheering for the athletes both in person and also by watching them on TV, but I also like how the fans and the supporters get represented through mascot here, because I think the fans also like really try hard to embody many of the values of the Olympics, like peace and world unity and determination. So I thought it was really cool that they also designed a mascot as well for the fans. I mean, technically Muk Muk's a sidekick, but I really like what Muk Muk is supposed to represent. Alright, so that has been my video talking about my Olympic mascot collection, at least for now. Maybe one of these days I could look into expanding them and getting more Olympic mascots, because many of the Olympic mascots go back as far as, depending on who you ask, like the 1972 or 1968 Olympic Games. I know that there are some from like Olympics from quite a ways back, like the Snowlets from the Nagano Games or Amic from the Montreal Summer Olympics, and those are those mascot and the mascot merchandise for those two particular games have gone really expensive for eBay, so I'm not sure if I can find those anytime soon. But I am looking into expanding my mascot collection in the future. Hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on the two Tokyo mascots, Mirai Toa and Someiti, sometime soon. So let me know your thoughts down below. Which of the mascots that I talked about today are your favorite? Are the ones that I didn't feature that you really like? There are also some ones that I don't have any merch for. Like I really like Schneeman from the Innsbruck 1976 Olympics, for example, or Kobe from the 1992 Barcelona Games. So let me know your thoughts down below, and until next time, this has been Blood Moon Bobby, and thank you all for watching. Hi everyone, thanks for watching this Blood Moon Bobby video. Like and share the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel to see more of my videos, and ring the bell to be notified about my latest uploads. Don't forget to follow me on social media for my latest opinions and video updates. I hope to see you next time.